Hello, my name is Chloe and welcome back to my channel. In last week's video, I got my 6th conch piercing and my 3rd anti-tragus piercing. And I just wanted to do a quick video talking about the pain comparison between getting the piercing done and the healing process of it. Because with my experience, the two are very different. Let's start with my anti-tragus. I got my first anti-tragus piercing on my left ear, and the pain was probably a 3 to a 4 out of 10. And my second one, probably a 5 to a 6. But then my third one, 0.5 out of 10. It did not hurt that much. I felt it. I wouldn't call it pain though. But then you get to the healing process, which goddamn sucks. You don't realize how much you move your ears when you talk and smile and eat and just do everything. So right now, while I'm talking, I can feel where my new piercing is in my ear and it's pulling. It's not painful anymore because it's slowly starting to heal, but cleaning it right after getting the piercing for the first 3 or 4 days, oh, that sucks. It hurts so bad, because it swells up a little bit, and cleaning around it, which you sort of have to, otherwise you'll get an infection, it sucks. But then you get to my conch piercing, which was the opposite. It hurt like a mother effer getting it done. The 6th one in particular, the most recent one, that was probably the worst. And pain scale out of 10, probably an 8 to an 8.5. It sucks. And it's pretty similar with the rest of my conch piercings. They weren't that pleasant. Probably 7 to 8.5 in the pain scale for all of them. But then you get to the healing process. Not a problem. It did not hurt while it was healing. It was throbbing for a few hours after I got it pierced, but apart from that, no pain whatsoever. There's dried blood around it, and if you watched last week's video, you'll see a little bit of blood, but that was coming from my anti-tragus. But there's only a very small amount of dried blood around my conch piercing, and it's healing really well. Now let's compare my other piercings. For example, my industrial piercing, it didn't hurt that much. Where it went in down the bottom, didn't hurt that much, but when it went in through the top, Jesus, that sucked. But that pain was probably a 5 or a 6. It wasn't horrible, it just was not pleasant. And then the healing process, it sucked. I had a keloid at the bottom and it sucked. It was so painful to clean. The keloid wasn't painful, but just the whole area around it was painful. And that's because of how thick the needle is when it goes through the skin. It does take away part of the cartilage, but it's pretty much like that with any cartilage piercing that gets done with a needle. And my industrial piercing did get infected probably about 3 months after I got it pierced. So I went on antibiotics and that fixed it up. And I think it was healed within about 5 months, which is pretty quick for an industrial piercing because they tend to take a lot longer to heal. My rook and my daith piercings were pretty similar in pain when I got the piercings done. They were probably about an 8.5 to a 9, and the most painful one being the rook. That one sucked. It brought tears to my eyes, and the healing process was just as bad as getting the piercing done, if not worse. But my daith piercing, the piercing itself hurt, but the healing process wasn't that bad. It was probably about a 5 to a 6 out of 10, but my rook, the pain of healing was, it was verging to a 9. It was really bad, but it was almost healed within a week, so I only had to put up with it for a very short amount of time. My other cartilage piercings and my helix piercings, those ones were probably about a 5 to a 6 out of 10. The healing process wasn't that painful, just the initial piercing itself was the painful part with those. My tragus was a 6 out of 10 when I got the piercing done, but healing probably a 4.5 to a 5 out of 10. Not that bad, but just a tip for anybody who's wanting to get their tragus pierced. If you sleep on your side, get it pierced on the side you don't sleep on. Or if you wear earplugs or earphones or anything like that, all the time, please don't get your tragus pierced. If I wear earphones or earplugs in my right ear for too long, I get headaches and migraines from that because that's where my tragus is pierced. But that only happens if I wear earplugs or earphones for an extended period of time. It's usually fine if I'm only wearing it for 1 or 2 hours at a time, but any longer than that, it's not very pleasant. I've had quite a few surface piercings in my life, which I no longer have. My vertical tragus, getting that pierced sucked. The healing process wasn't that bad. It did not hurt that much, probably about a 2 out of 10. But it eventually rejected, so I had to take it out. And the same for all of my eyebrow piercings. Getting an eyebrow piercing for the first time is probably about a 2 out of 10 in my experience. But if you get your eyebrow pierced and it rejects, and then you get it re-pierced later on after it's healed, it hurts a lot more. But even then, it's only about a 3 to a 4 out of 10 in comparison to getting it done the first time. But either way, I wouldn't recommend that you get a surface piercing after you've already had a surface piercing reject, because the chances of it rejecting the second time is a lot higher. And now let's talk about my lip piercings. I've had 6 lip piercings, all of which I've taken out because they were damaging my teeth. But pain-wise of getting them pierced depends on which one, but generally it was probably about a 5 to a 6 out of 10 getting the piercing done. And the healing process, probably about a 3.5 to a 4. Not that bad with healing. But my Medusa piercing, that sucked. My top lip swelled up so bad and it was quite painful for about a week and a half. But after that, it healed perfectly fine. But like I said, I've taken it out. I'd prefer to keep my teeth than have the piercings in. And now we come to a tongue piercing. I thought that my tongue piercing was going to hurt like hell. No, not that bad. Getting my first tongue piercing, which was in the middle, that one was probably about a 3 to a 4 out of 10 getting the piercing done. The healing process, however, that sucked. It was probably a 7.5 out of 10, mostly because my tongue was swollen for about a week. So eating hurt, talking hurt, everything that you don't realize you're doing with your tongue on a day-to-day basis, it hurt. But nowhere near in comparison to my second tongue piercing, which was done on the side. Oh, that one sucked. It was about an 8 out of 10 getting the piercing done, and it bled quite a lot. But then we get to the healing process, which was even worse. My tongue puffed up so bad, and I ended up getting this white flaky stuff around the top of my tongue. Oh, that was gross. And the healing process took about 3 to 4 weeks for it to fully heal. And I would not suggest getting a piercing on the side if it's really thick, which is what my tongue is. Would I get it done again? No way in hell. It was horrible. But now they're both healed. I'm glad I got it done, but if I went back in time, probably wouldn't want to go through that pain again. Oh shit. This hurts. I did not expect it to hurt as much as it did. It was this one. Oh fuck. And last but certainly not least, my nostril piercings. I have 4 nostril piercings, and getting them done is probably about a 3.5 out of 10. The healing process, 5 out of 10 maybe, close to a 5 out of 10. It's not that bad. But that depends on if you get it done with a gun, which I would not suggest, or if you get it done with a needle. My first nostril piercing was done with a gun. Yes, bad, shame on me, but I was like, what, 15? It didn't suck that bad. My eyes watered and my nose started running, but that was it. It took forever for it to heal though, but my other 3 were done with a needle, and getting it done with a needle is a little bit more painful, but the healing process after getting a nostril piercing with a needle, pain-wise, is probably a 2 out of 10. 2.5 to a 3 maybe. It's not that bad with the healing. If you have any questions that you want to ask me, please write it in the comments, and if I can help, I'm more than happy to. And please don't take my word as everybody else's, because everybody experiences pain differently. So what might hurt for me might not hurt for you, and what might hurt for you might not hurt for me. Everybody experiences pain differently, so don't take my word on it as truth, because, well, it's not. That's just me and my experience from getting these piercings. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you next week. I wanted this piercing done first because I thought, alright, get the most painful one out of the way first. This one was a walk in the park compared to the tongue. I'm going to the piercing place today to get the tongue bar changed to a longer bar because I think it's just a little bit too short. But it's only swollen on one side and it freaking hurts. It's all it hurts just here. And underneath it's not quite as bad, but it's just, even talking it sucks. I can talk just a little bit better than I could yesterday, but I have trouble saying words that have an R in it or an L. Even saying R is hard. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there and I'll show you when I get a longer bar and let you know what it's looking like then. And now it's the next day and it is Easter. Well, it's Good Friday at the moment. Note the rabbit ears. And it freaking sucks because I have, can you see that bowl over there? That is full of chocolates, and I tried to have some and it made my tongue bleed. It looks a little bit funny and a little bit green, but that's from the mouthwash that I have. It actually makes my tongue a little bit numb, which is good. And the bar got changed yesterday for a longer bar. The bar that was in was about this long and it got changed to one about this long. So there's a bar that's about that long in my tongue and it's still swollen over it. It took me an hour to eat a salad. I had a salad for lunch and it took me a goddamn hour to eat it. Oh, this sucks. I'm really hoping it's gonna be feeling better, and it's just bugging the hell out of me that I've got that much chocolate and I can't do a thing about it, and I can't eat it, can't do anything, and my tongue hurts and I feel like shit, and I'm really not in the best mood. This morning I woke up with a headache. Yesterday morning I woke up with a headache. I think it's because my tongue hurts like hell.